Okay, so for any founder out there, getting that patent, it feels like a massive win, right? It's the shield for your big idea. But here's a scary thought. What if that shield isn't actually protecting what you think it is? What if while you're busy innovating, your patent is just quietly becoming useless? That right there is the hidden risk of what we call patent drift. And this, honestly, is the worst place to be. You're out there making huge strategic decisions, you're raising funds, negotiating partnerships, all based on a false sense of security. So today, we're going to break down how this happens and, way more importantly, how you can fix it. All right, here's the plan. We'll start with the silent risk every founder faces and get clear on what patent claims really are. Then we'll dive into the dangers when things don't line up, see how this product drift happens in the real world, and walk through a super simple health check. We'll wrap it all up by completely reframing how you should think about your patent strategy. So let's talk about this hidden gap. Where does it even come from? Well, it's actually born from the very thing that makes a startup a startup. Just think about it for a second. Your team is pushing code, they're rebuilding models, adding features every single sprint. I mean, your product is a living, breathing thing. But your patent, that thing is frozen in time, a snapshot from the day it was filed. So with every new update, the gap between what you have and what you're protecting can get wider and wider and wider, leaving you totally exposed. Now, to really get this, we have to understand what a patent truly protects. And trust me, it all comes down to one thing: the claims. This right here, this is the goal. Claim alignment is like the quiet heartbeat of a really strong patent strategy. When your claims perfectly match what your product does today, your protection is real. But when they don't, well, it becomes imaginary armor. And here is the absolute key distinction that so many founders miss. A patent isn't a vague general description of your cool idea. The claims, they are the legal fence. They specifically draw the lines around the territory you own. If your product wanders outside that fence, guess what? It's an unprotected territory. This really highlights the most common and, frankly, the most dangerous misconception. You might be thinking your entire groundbreaking feature is protected, the whole shebang. But the law, it only protects the very specific steps, the structure, and the logic that's written down in those claims. Everything else? It's basically fair game for your competitors. So you might be thinking, okay, but an imperfect patent has to be better than nothing, right? Well, actually, a misaligned patent can be so much more damaging. Why? Because it gives you a false sense of confidence, and that can lead to some truly disastrous business decisions. And this misalignment, man, it seeps into everything. We're talking fundraising, sales, you name it. Your investors, they're assuming your core tech is totally locked down. Your big enterprise customers, they think your solution is defensible. But just imagine an M&E team doing due diligence discovers your main feature, the secret sauce, isn't actually covered by the patent. Your valuation, it could literally plummet by millions, like overnight. When those assumptions just fall apart, the fallout is absolutely staggering. So you see, this isn't some dusty legal problem. It's a massive fundamental business risk. Okay, let's flip the script for a second. Put yourself in your competitor's shoes. They don't see your patent as a shield. No way. They see it as a blueprint. They will study your claims, compare them to the product you're selling today, and they will hunt for the gaps. And those gaps, that's their roadmap to legally build around you and steal your market share.
So how does this drift even happen? Look, it's not one big, bad decision. It's the slow accumulation of dozens of small, well-intentioned improvements that quietly reshape your invention over time.
Let's be really clear here. This isn't about your team making mistakes. It's about them doing their jobs. Making the product better, faster, more responsive to customers. The problem isn't the change itself. It's the failure to track how those changes are impacting your legal protection. And you can see exactly how this snowballs over time. It starts so small. A better algorithm here, a new feature there because customers asked for it. Then you remove an old, clunky feature that, and you had no idea, was actually a key part of one of your patent claims. Then you update the architecture, and as the team grows, that original tribal knowledge of the patent just fades away. Each step seems totally logical on its own, but you add them all up, and suddenly you've got a massive gap. Okay, so that's the problem. It's subtle, it's pretty much inevitable, and it's definitely dangerous. But the solution? It's not nearly as complicated as you might think. It's really just about building a simple, repeatable habit. I absolutely love this analogy. I mean, you would never let your code base become a tangled, unreadable mess, right? Of course not. You do regular reviews, you refactor. You should be treating your patent portfolio the exact same way. Small, regular check-ins are so much easier and more effective than a massive, painful overhaul once a year.
So how do you actually do it? It's way simpler than you think. Step 1. Forget all that dense legalese. Just write down in plain, simple English what your patent claims are actually protecting. What's the core invention? Step 2. Map out how your product delivers its core value right now, not last year, but today. Step 3, and this is the magic moment, put those two descriptions side by side, and you just ask the simple question, does this still match that? And hey, any gaps you find, those are not failures. They're golden opportunities. They're literally a roadmap showing you exactly where you need to file your next patent to keep that shield strong. You know, this process does way more than just plug a few holes. It fundamentally changes how you should be looking at your intellectual property. It's not some dusty certificate you hang on the wall. It is a dynamic, living part of your company's strategy. By regularly checking in on your alignment, you're forcing your team to stay crystal clear on what truly makes your product inventive and different. It clarifies your thinking, it sharpens your product roadmap, and it reinforces your core value proposition. See, it's not just a defensive move, it's a powerful tool for strategic clarity. At the end of the day, it's this simple. Your patent portfolio has to evolve right alongside your product. As you build and innovate, your protection has to grow with it. A static patent protects a static idea, and in the world of tech, well, static ideas don't last very long. And that really brings us to the final critical question you've got to ask yourself. Is your legal shield protecting your frontline troops today, or is it still back there defending a hill you abandoned a long, long time ago? The answer to that question could decide the entire future of your company.